Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. We'll try a second time around. First time, in case you caught a few clips of it, I lost my mic. And so I was trying to fix it, and they weren't happy with all of that, and so they just cut away. And so I didn't really know where I was, but it's great to have you with us. It isn't as a result of TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. No. We're still very much busy. Let me quickly introduce my guest to you. Dr. Daniel Kere, University of Lagos philosophy lecturer. Thank you very much for coming on, as always.
Thank you for having me.
It's been quite a while. And Mr. Ademola Adekoya, communications consultant.
Adegoke.
I beg your pardon. Did I say Ademola?
You said Adegoke.
It's one of those days, isn't it?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's actually Ademola
Adegoke.
Adegoke, not Adekoya. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I won't put the blame anywhere else. I'll just take it myself.
Thank you for inviting me and morning viewers at home.
Indeed. Yesterday we had a returnee from South Africa on the program, and he gave us his own personal account. Just a sort of a human angle story, some human interest. I suppose it's on Fridays that we usually do that kind of a thing, but we did get the guest there. Now, just lo and behold, was reading in the papers this morning that ticketing agents say that sales have fallen. And what's going on? Well, we can imagine what's going on, because our guest yesterday, Uchenna, said that he's left South Africa for home. He doesn't think he's going back anytime soon. And furthermore, those that remain, in his perspective, in his opinion, it was a very risky thing they were doing. Now, this thing is going to blow over ultimately, isn't it? But for the moment, how long do we expect this to continue? It looks like people are giving, South Africa something of a wide berth. Ticketing agents are saying, we're not selling. What do you think? Let me start with you, Ademola.
Well, I just want to say that maybe so soon the scale will fall off the heights of our South African brothers, and they will see the far-reaching implications of their action, of the hate that they are propagating against their fellow African brothers. Because one needs to say this, that there are other foreign nationals in South Africa. You have Americans, you have Chinese, you have Japanese, you have Indians, and there was no record of those ones being attacked. It was purely targeted at, the African brothers.
Yes.
So, like I've said, so soon they will realize, they will realize maybe, sorry to say that, the folly in their action, because it has far-reaching implications. Now we are already seeing, that Nigerians are boycotting trips to South Africa, and before you know it, and even when you look at the number of people leaving South Africa, it's not just Nigerians, other African nationals, Zambians, Mozambicans, and the rest of them. South Africa, will experience a lot of capital flight, you understand, from their country, because there is no way you want to deny the fact that these people are not contributing, to the socio-economic life of South Africa. And I am sure that there is no country that can stand on its own. So, well, maybe the president has realized that, and he has started apologizing. He has started sending envoys to different countries. But how far that will go, we want to see. But I think that South African brothers and sisters need to do a rethink on their action.
Well, the South African High Commissioner, you might have seen the story in the Punch this morning. The South African High Commissioner has said that, look, this is a situation, Dan, that's going to normalize soon. Well, yesterday, among the other things we were saying was that the authorities in South Africa are they're not behaving in the most confidence-inspiring ways. Some of the things they've been saying in the past, and then even in this whole story about people arriving back home, the Punch narrates a story of a Mrs. Atere who, the story is that she went to South Africa when she was pregnant. gave birth in South Africa. Now, when all of this wahala started and she wanted to come home, according to the report, and I'll just read it directly, quoting Mrs. Atere now, they say I couldn't travel with my kids because I gave birth to them in South Africa and they are citizens, she said. So you can see that it's really, what is it now? What is that word? Very turbulent at the moment. Why? Naturally, South Africa must be feeling bad. But then sometimes they keep on digging. They keep on digging.
What makes the children citizens? That they fell from heaven, or
that they were born on South African soil. So now you can't go. You can't turn around and go away in vex. If you want to, if it was people. But now that this is part of the whole campaign against us, no, these children are South African citizens. So you're not going with them. Yesterday, it was a different context, but. You see, it's looked like we're not too sure how to go about this, but at least the situation will normalize soon, according to the High Commissioner, Bobby Morrow, the South African High Commissioner.
Yeah, we hope so, but I think, like you rightly mentioned, leadership is critical to, the survival of every social organization. Leadership is critical. And that is why a lot of people always focus on leadership. Over the years, there have been these traits, there have been such actions at different levels of different degrees, but the government has not shown any sense of responsibility in that regard, to the extent that you want to caution your people to say, well, these are our brothers, and these are things that are even normal in international space, because there are countries that are shopping for foreign investors.
Yeah.
All right? Nigeria is open to that, and I want to believe South Africa equally, because if you had left South Africa to just the indigents, I doubt if they will get to where they are. The others have come in to invest and the rest of it. Some of the jobs, some of them could not do, others are doing it, and it happens everywhere, not just in South Africa. So thinking that, okay, you don't have the number of Nigerians in South Africa, just like one of them said, they don't have such a number. Do we have the same population? We don't. South Africa does not have our kind of population. So these are different. Now, but the leadership over the years has not been able to deal with these issues. Has not even shown any commitment. Has not shown any sense of, we want to handle this issue. That is why they are festered. Over time, it will happen. You don't even make any genuine statement, to suggest that you are not disposed to such actions. Until lately that people are beginning to react in a manner that some are now leaving the country. Now, the people you even said they should leave, they started leaving. You said they can't leave because some don't have documents.
Yes.
That is the more reason why they should leave. If you feel people don't have documents, and you've seen them to be a problem to your people, I was even thinking they will be the ones to provide the aircraft that will lift, So at the end of the day, you fail to do that. Nigeria is now saying, okay, since we have been a problem to you, we want to go back home. Yeah, now create the problem. Now they are beginning to see the effect. But some of those people who carry out these actions are among the uneducated. So many of them are uneducated. Many of them. There might be educated ones among them. Don't forget that sometimes those educated ones can push some of these people into actions. But most of those people are actually uneducated. Now, if you have that challenge, you who is in wherever to have control over these people, what stops you from actually enlightening these people? What stops you from addressing these issues that the people are reacting to? So over time, the government has not shown any sincere, attitude towards that.
That is the South African government.
Yes, that is why the thing has happened over time. And perhaps, again, they look at other, nationals like those from Europe and the rest of them. They see them perhaps as untouchables. That is why they have never, focused on those people. Or they just hated. Because if we are the ones they hated, we were not the ones who constituted the appetite to them.
Yes.
Rather, we are among those who were sympathizing with them and fighting the cause.
Yes.
So why should we be the ones that they will hate?
It is the very question that,
why?
I
find it difficult to understand.
That regular people in South Africa are also asking. It's convenient to say that Julius Malema, he is an opposition leader, but he still is speaking the truth. He's not the only guy. We had someone in here yesterday who was saying to us, things are as bad as that. Even if a South African, because he said he made friends in South Africa, even if a South African sort of sympathizes with you, it's not a thing that can be done openly. In other words, they still they hide the douane.
Yeah, yes.
That, in other words, it's dangerous.
Yeah, yeah.
As Malema was asking, what exactly is wrong with us? You know, and other people. Malema has the high stature that he has, but if you were to look on YouTube, you'll find other regular people, ordinary people saying that
even
they
women,
are,
even some of their women
that they feel bad,
saying that they prefer Nigerian men. They, you know, it's
let those ones go and sit down, Ojari. All these people preferring our men, and let these women let them go.
Well, it's part of life.
This is not good news to our ladies at all.
No,
yes, not all of those men are available.
No, it's good news. What you need to understand there is that
the problem.
you see that our women are not saying that. It's not because they don't appreciate us. You see, but they've been used to.
They're women.
No. That's the point I'm making. You see, their women are the ones making these expressions, not ours. Okay,
No, yes.
because ours have been in this particular, level already
Of enjoyment with their men.
To the extent
So
that
they take it for granted.
Yes,
taking for
So
granted.
when
you
you
getting
see
it?
this, when
You
you see
now
the
have
Nigerian version, it's
beautiful.
special to them.
So it's not as if the Nigerian is doing
Okay.
extra to the South African woman.
It is
But our women are already at that level. Are you getting it? So they have. So don't downplay it. It's a very critical issue. Life is about the woman.
When life is about Adan, well, you're a philosophy guy. So I like where you're taking this matter. This is sociology.
Honestly, don't trivialize it. It's very critical.
Okay, I think it's...
Look at several issues that have happened over the world. You find that most of them, the woman is at the heart of it. So when a woman begins to tell you that this is the stand, this is how we feel, don't just put that on it.
And that could be part of the problem. That could be, that could have triggered the envy in the first place.
That their men are not reacting to.
Yes.
So don't take it for granted, Yori, at all.
So
it's a critical factor.
every little bit counts, right?
It does.
Very important. But
Does.
this one is not even a little bit. This is a major issue.
Well, the only way it will be a major issue is if, for the moment, you said don't let us trivialize this. If that particular aspect,
No, this is the angle to
if
it.
it is indeed so, wait a minute.
If
If it is indeed so, if the women are speaking like this in some instances, it therefore would mean that the men are not liking it and are taking preventive action.
Exactly. It's part of it. It's part of it. It's part of it because the men are equally reactive. Some have said so. We've listened to some of them who were reacting to that. That when you go into, wooing a woman with a South African, the chances of a Nigerian winning
is very high.
It's almost as good as 100%. Are you getting it? And you think that man will be very happy?
No.
That you should come and say,
you see, one thing, you can accuse Nigerians of every other thing. You see, but the industry and enterprise of an average Nigerian, especially on a foreign, soil, cannot be denied.
At all.
You understand? And so when it gets there, it's a success. And everybody wants to associate with a success. You understand? So everybody wants to associate with a successful person. So if the Nigerian who is successful, well off, you understand, much more than his South African counterpart, he stands a better chance. You understand?
To get about the picture you're painting. I hear what you're saying. But I don't know if what you're saying is the same as, look, Nigerians are just bloody hard workers. And it shows.
That's what
hard work will show.
I've said industry and enterprise.
Because it's tight over there
industry
too.
And enterprise.
Because it is no El Dorado.
It is not El Dorado.
Uchenna sat down in front of us yesterday and was telling us it's not easy, that we get up to all sorts of devices to survive. But he was determined to make it.
That is where industry and enterprise even comes to play. That is not easy and yet you are breaking
that
shows what you have. That's the stuff you have. Are you getting it? Now, so it's part of that. What they fail to realize is that these people that they claim are taking away their jobs are equally creating, jobs for them. Because you won't establish a business and run it alone. You are likely going to have either a clerk or a secretary, a cleaner, or whatever. At least one way or the other, you are going to bring in. There's no way you run an organization like this and you say you will do it alone.
But people are not seeing that for now.
They're blinded by... And those who they are going to employ are not going to be entirely Nigerians. South Africans will be there. This. I think the challenge really has been that of leadership.
The challenge of leadership over there.
Yes, that is
even though Uche also criticized leadership here too as well, because Uche said, among other things, that if only the Nigerian youth had 20% of the facilities that are available to South African youth who he said don't particularly care. It was Uche's opinion that there wouldn't be that many Nigerians leaving the shores of our land.
It could be either ways. The youth over there, the facilities are there, and yet they couldn't create whatever we're talking about.
That's what he's saying.
Are you getting it? So it's not
now. Uche was saying
the
that
same
if I
manner,
had what they have,
yes,
I wouldn't have left in the first place.
There are others who will still leave.
Yes,
people are still living in
that's the point that Mazi Okorafor made.
Of course, people are still living in the US.
Made it that
people are living in Britain.
Without prejudice.
I mean,
we travel. We are Nigerians.
It's
We're
part
go
of
around.
human nature. You want to explore. You want to. I mean, it does happen. So that you have all the facilities are not enough for you to remain in a particular spot. You want to see what is happening outside. As a matter of fact, it is in seeing what is happening outside that you want to build on what you already have. So that we don't have some facilities does not mean that we all will live. Those who will live, all right? In the same manner, those who even have those facilities, there are some who will still be there. You find people who will live, in the midst of those facilities and are still hungry. Yeah. So that's not the issue. At least there are Nigerians who are hungry. But we have a lot of arable land. So many things. So it does happen. But the point is that when leadership is able to organize itself, to the extent that rules are obeyed, and where there are issues of violations, they are treated, the people want to organize themselves. So generally people want to do all manner of things. But the moment they know, who told you that Americans are more law-abiding? Or that Britons are more law-abiding? But because their laws are effectively, implemented. That is why you have those challenges.
While all of these problems are being fixed, they're on a diplomatic level and all of that, while they are being fixed, for a moment, the reaction of government, most times government, perhaps rightly so in many cases, comes under criticism from the opposition. But in this case, the way government has sort of reacted to this and the effect, the result of it.
I think
this is one case, right?
In fairness to our home government here, for the first time, I want to say that, for the first time, we are seeing, the government taking really proactive measures. You understand?
Could I interrupt you and I come back? You started off, your headline is that for the first time, we're seeing government taking proactive measures.
No, it might not really be proactive, but at least taking action.
Taking action. Okay, let me quickly hear what Andy has to say in the UK. Good morning, Andy, in the UK.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for calling in.
It's nice to be on the program this morning.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm quite happy today on your second edition of Xenophobia. The last time I was very upset. I wasn't happy. That was when you brought our brother from Ikiti, brother Olubo, if I'm right.
Okay.
Okay. I will not go into the reason why I'm not happy because he spent most of 58 minutes of his time to decimate Nigerian. Our people say that they are too loud, they are busy.
Okay.
My brother said, a Nigerian, a professor from Welsh, a Welsh professor said, Nigerians, we are unique. We are not just black. We are not African. We are not just blue. We are just unique.
Did he mean that in a good way? Did he mean that in a good way?
Now, just like your other guest said, when you have a Nigeria somewhere, there are industries. That is who we have. Especially from this part of Nigeria, the East, you have an Igbo guy. I've had them in London and interacting. We know how enterprising, we know their pedigree. So we need to start telling the success story of Nigeria, especially over this South Africa issue. And I appreciate what the other guest said. Nigeria, we are industrious.
Yeah.
And everybody would like to associate themselves with a successful man. Mm-hmm. And when a success man in his environment makes money, he has to show it. There is no other way. Some South Africans here that we interact with, that we have the debate just like a beer parlor discussion. They say that, how can you say that Nigerians are taking your job? When a Nigerian goes to South Africa and you see a shop that is locked up, and you see his fellow Nigerian, he knows that they need somewhere to cut their hair. He will pay money to a South African and rent that place and start a barber shop business. A Nigerian will go to South Africa, open a business, and set up a restaurant that his fellow Nigerians will come and patronize. because they need that service. That is not a South African job. The issue of drugs is mostly perpetrated by Tanzania, according to South Africans in London, not Nigerians. So please, I want us to encourage you, Uncle Yodi. I don't want people to come to your platform. It's a national platform. We respect you. We respect the platform from London. We watch you every day.
Thank
they
you
should
very
not
much.
come and demarket Nigerians and
Thank
say
you.
because we are last, because we are this, because we are that. There's so much success story that if we start today, we will not finish.
Indeed.
Look at
Of course,
when
of course.
South Africa was in turmoil, our faith industry, our religious people, they were there selling our faith industry to them to revive their people
Indeed.
from whatever problem they are having.
Okay.
That is a good thing in their medical industry.
Indeed. Thank you very much
They were
for
telling
calling in,
us.
Andy. Andy, appreciate your call. Thank you very much for the inspiring call. Can't come and be demarketing all the time. That is his word, Nigeria. We have our issues, we have our challenges. We will not shy away from them, but can we, with the same gusto, be talking about the successes that are available too? Now,
I was talking
your
about the
headline was
actions.
that.
You know,
Yes.
he was saying that yes, the actions might not be proactive, but for me, they were, because when you look at it before, you know, the problem will have this wasn't the first time that this xenophobic attacks happened. It started since even almost immediately after after their independence from apartheid. And it happened in 2008, but this was the first time that our country was seen to be taking actions to say that no, enough of this. But for the actions that our country took, probably, the attacks will have continued. And their government will not have also,
taking it as seriously as this.
So that's
So
what
it's like
makes the
this-
actions,
this is one of the benefits.
because look at it. Immediately we recalled our envoy. You understand? Thank God for Peace Airline. And then, aircraft was sent down to South Africa. And the Nigerian, for the first time, the Nigerian, felt, was made proud that he not only as a country, he also as a government,
Indeed.
that cares for his interest.
Okay.
And they came back home, and then, look at other, measures taken, to integrate them into the society. So
really.
I think,
I think practically everybody has really done well.
Please, you can come in on it, but I have Idris in Jeba, so I'll come straight to you after Idris. Good morning, Idris. Thanks for calling in.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you for calling in, sir.
Good morning, I'm with you, sir.
Okay, please go ahead.
My problem is what baffles me with some of our Nigerian people. They like condemning we Nigerians. And it's not supposed. We have South Africans that are also barbers, shoemakers, everything in Nigeria. Why are we not doing the same to them? We take them as our brothers. We maintain them. For our elders to fight for us, they are still condemning us, which is very bad. It's very bad, to be sincere.
Thank you very much, Idris.
Actually, we have every Nigerian in every country.
Sure.
Why are we not doing the same to Nigerians, except South Africans? And we've helped them a lot.
Sure. Okay.
But they never considered that.
All right. Thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
calling in, Idris. Really appreciate your call. Now, this is something that Andy started, and by the time Idris came in on it, I thought he was also going to be complaining about quote-unquote bad-mouthing of Nigerians by Nigerians. Now, well, critics, there will always be critics, But I think the point is sometimes, although this is a tangent from where we were, whereas we have the freedom to say what we want to say, so far as it is within the law, I think people are saying that, but we're not being balanced. We talk about all the negatives, and there are a few, and hardly talk about any of the positives. And
Yes,
that is the
I think we
challenge.
should even emphasize the positives over.
But we don't always do that.
No, that's what we are saying now.
And
I think
that's what we are
because
doing.
that's exactly what we are doing now.
That's what we are doing
Because now when you watch most of these, foreign media, when they want to do any issue on Africa, the kind of pictures they show you,
Yes.
will suggest as if Africans are the only hungry people in the world. as if they don't ever get hungry before they even eat in their own places. Are you getting it? Now, that's
Excuse me.
So I expect that if you look at even your own capture sometimes, you want to tell the African story the African way. So you are here to correct it.
Exactly.
So you can't join them in, demarketing Africa in the same way they are trying to. People die every day in those places. They don't present it. They don't present their own bad picture.
You're right.
But they want to present a bad picture.
That's right.
About Africa.
We don't ever do it
at all.
And
That's what
other
we're
stations
saying.
along with
Exactly.
us don't
That is
do
what
it.
I respect our own media for.
But I think Andy was complaining that guests often
Exactly.
come in.
That is what he
begin to
said.
demarcate.
No, he is specifically talking about a particular person who did that, and he is not happy with it. I don't even think that such things should be encouraged. That we
I
should
got to rush
demarket.
off on a break now. I beg your pardon. I got to
It's
rush
okay.
off on a break. We'll come back, continue this conversation, and of course include your calls. Stay with us, please. Welcome back. Still with Ademola Adegoke in the studio and Dr. Dan Ekere. And we're looking at something of the turbulence, horrible pun, in terms of talking about air flights and all of that. Anyhow, Nigerians reportedly, slowing down on their trips to South Africa. And we're looking at that. And, it is bringing in all sorts of reactions and all sorts of tangents. Andy called in from the UK earlier, and Idris followed that, calling in from Jeddah. But Andy said something that it didn't sit well with us. He actually mentioned one country and said that those are the people that are involved in drugs, according to Africans in the UK.
Not just Africa, South Africa.
South Africans.
According to South Africans in the UK. Well, you know how it is, Andy and other contributors. Please don't use our platforms to put out those kind of things that even you, Andy, the way you said it, of course, you said that you attributed it to South Africans in the UK, but we can't be putting stuff about our brother African countries that has not been proved, and that there is no evidence for. There are institutions that is their main concern to provide the evidence. I think Idris was also relating to the whole matter about crime. Every criminal is Nigerian. Everything is Nigerian. And then we extended that into home. Even sometimes when the opposition gets in on the act, even the opposition that is benefiting from progress being made will not necessarily talk about those aspects of progress. They will concentrate on the other ones that they still want done, which is their right. But maybe it's the way opposition is generally. I don't know.
Yeah, but generally on the issue of how the government, Nigerians.
You had a slight exception.
Over time,
proactively. You said, look,
over time, this has been happening. No, the government this time around has decided to take action. After why I said it was not proactive was that the action was actually, predicated on the reactions of Nigerians. But at the same time, it is a good action. It was good.
To stop,
beautiful. It was good. Why is it so paying attention? Because sometimes when this kind of things happen all the time and you don't do anything, it emboldens the other person. You begin to think that that's the way you are, that whatever will happen, you will be able to talk and all of that. So this is quite good. A lot of Nigerians are coming home. A lot of Nigerians have refused to go there. And then at the moment, you begin to get all this kind of complaints of, we are not able to sell tickets and all the rest. Yes, sometimes it's good. So that your brother or your neighbor will recognize that you equally have your own importance, even while in his own land.
Yeah.
You have your contributions. You are not just there to eat.
Yeah, exactly.
And in any case, it's not about Nigerians actually being employed in South African government or ministries or whatever. Those that are employed are the ones that were considered fit for whatever appointment, like the doctors and the rest. Do you want to bring in, a mechanic to become a doctor in a hospital or what? So it's about professional, whatever. But again, they must recognize that these people are not just there to work and take money home. They are there to equally help develop their economy.
Well,
All right.
exactly.
Because
they are contributing. They are paying taxes.
They're doing all of that.
Yes.
And that probably is not the first cause, the first reason they go there. It's otherwise. But
So,
you are saying that
in the course of doing this, in the course of trying to eke out a
benefits.
living, you definitely will contribute to the economy, because without that, how do you make it?
But
Right.
one of our regular viewers, Mazi Okorofo, had said that without prejudice to all that is being said, that is right. The Nigerian will always travel. It is how we are made. I don't know. It's a part of our genes. So when we're looking at, as you see the headline, which actually, from the point of view of our producers, is a direct purloining of the Punch headline, but it does it does help to what we're emphasize what we're talking about. That is the news story that ticketing agents are saying that are complaining. But that's not going to last for very long.
No,
bearing in mind that particular thing that Mazi was saying, that
it might not.
we travel. It's not going to last forever.
It might not last.
Well, it depends on with the steps being taken now, and like we have said, maybe for the first time too, the South African authorities are realizing that, well, we can't allow this to go on for long, because then
because now they're beginning to protest internationally. It's not just Nigeria again. Now they're protesting in the UK, I hear.
Everywhere. It will ricochet, and then the repercussion too. Like he has said, these people that they want out of their country, they are making their contribution to the economy of the land.
Okay.
And I talked about capital flight from South Africa. If this continues, and if they don't arrest it, and again, it's not even about the people living. Even the people that want to come in to invest, foreigners that want to come in to invest in that country, they give it a second thought, because you go and invest in it's not even about Africa. Now they are targeting Africans, but I tell you that even this action, if they allow it to continue, even non-Africans will not want to, we not want to come and invest in South Africa. So we want to believe that, with the actions, being taken, from different quarters, from the South African end, from other, from governments of other countries involved, I think that, the pressure is on South Africa to actually, give a rethink to what they are doing, and I want to believe that maybe will not last.
All right, then. One second, please. Nigerians boycott trips to South Africa. The Punch headline this morning, 20th of September, that we have purloined. Mr. Aremu in the UK, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, I've been watching your program. I'm happy that I got through today.
We're happy. We're happy. We're happy to get you too.
Yeah, my contribution is that about the people they bring back to Nigeria. Is the government going to do something for them? Or they will get back to Nigeria?
Mr. Aremu, the aspect of the whole South African mess that we're looking at is that Nigerians, according to ticketing sales, airline ticketing sales people, are saying that we've not done any business in the past 2 weeks. Ticket sales to wanting to go to South Africa has dried up. So we're looking at that look, yeah, we can understand it, but probably it will get better. That's the part of the whole thing that we're looking at now.
I understand that one.
Yes.
But before government can contribute to go and bring them back to Nigeria, they need to arrange something for them. If they bring back to Nigeria, there's no job there, there's nothing.
Yeah, but things are being done, Mr. Aremu. Are you following the news? Things are being done. Things are being done.
Things are being done.
Things are being done.
Okay, yeah, I've been following the news, but I didn't see anything. I've been done for them.
Okay. Things are being done. States have been enjoined to,
the Bank of Industry.
Exactly, Bank of Industry. I don't know. I was even as we were
give them loans.
Exactly. Even as we were on air yesterday, somebody from Ekiti was sending me information that as far as they are concerned, they have seen. Let me see if I can just get hold of that particular bit of information. That in Ekiti State they have 6 people who have returned, and they are going to be doing the best that they can do for them. So things are going on. One of the people was in a studio yesterday telling us that he had 160,000 naira worth of credit in his phone to be able to reach across to anywhere. So Mr. Aremu, never you fear. It might not be enough.
Yeah, I understand that.
Because there's always the Oliver Twist syndrome. But things are
if Nigeria
being
is
done.
good, nobody will out of Nigeria. Nobody will travel out of Nigeria if Nigeria being
No,
okay.
no, people
because
will people must
most
travel.
of people travel out of the country. They have
People
no,
must
no,
travel.
No,
People must travel.
I hear
That's not
you.
correct.
It's
People
your right to
must-
say what you want to
people
say.
must travel.
But you see, Mr. Remo, there you are in the UK. We travel.
Yeah.
We like to travel. It's who we are. There is no place in the world you will not find Nigerians, Mr. Remo.
Is
Simple
UK
as
not
that
is UK not developed enough? Are they
you
not
know,
traveling
are
out of
they-
the
are they not
saying is that,
Britons in
no
Nigeria,
matter how
yeah?
well we are doing, we love to
they
travel
are
like
here. There are
many people that
Britons
you
there.
yourself
I
know.
understand, but if Nigeria is good, nobody will travel out of Nigeria.
Nigeria is good,
That is
though.
the wrong
Nigeria is
statement
good.
you are-
Nigeria is good,
though.
Mr.
No, maybe
Remo.
what you mean is different.
I don't think so.
But
because I
what
think
you are
that
presenting
2018
to
Sorry, Mr. Remo, we appreciate
Nigeria
you. Please
is good,
continue.
but
We
it
don't want
can
to
be
shout-
better.
We don't want to shout Mr. Remo down.
No, we are not shouting. We are only trying to
Mr.
explain.
Remo, we continue. We hear you, sir. Are you with us? I think.
I'm
Mr.
with you. I'm with you.
We hear you. We don't want to talk over you, but we're trying to say that Nigeria is good.
Yeah, I'm with you.
You can't.
I didn't
A
say
Nigerian
Nigeria
can't
is
be
not
saying
good.
if
Nigeria is
Nigeria were
good for
good.
the people.
Nigeria is good.
No, that's
No,
not
no,
even
no,
that's
no,
not
no,
even the
no,
main
no, no,
issue.
no,
He
that's
said
not the main issue, but it's
he's-
important for
no,
me.
Yeah, he said if Nigeria is good,
then
then
nobody
Nigerians
will
will
leave.
travel. And I'm not
no,
saying is UK not good.
No,
Are
no.
they not traveling
No, no.
from there to other places?
Probably,
That's the point I'm
probably we
making.
need to
So we
go
will
a
always
bit.
travel.
Probably
will
we need to
also-
go a bit
Okay, Mr.
historical.
Remo, thank you very much for starting this secondary discussion. We really
will
appreciate
always
you.
travel.
Nigeria is good.
No,
I think it's the first point.
Yes, that's
Now,
correct.
Probably
the next thing that you have said is that in spite of us being good,
good,
we will still travel.
No, no,
and come back to our good place.
no. This
Obviously.
is the issue. This is the issue for me. You understand? Like he has, let us establish that fact that Nigeria is good, though it can be better.
Yes,
But
now, which
though,
country?
though,
Which
though,
country?
though it can be better, but Nigeria is good. We won't stand there to say that Nigeria is not good. Nigeria is good, but it can be better. But then,
And we're not just being patriotic. It is a fact.
It is a fact.
It's
It is
a matter of fact.
Nigeria is good because even as tough as the situation may look, there are still people, making, making waves in this country.
One truth we need to establish
breaking-
is that it is easier for an outsider to identify, resources in a place to even begin to utilize.
really?
Yes. So the Nigerians who have traveled to South Africa, what they are doing there might not be something different from what is here.
Yeah.
But the chances are that he did not even look at the one he has around him. And the one,
No.
It does happen. When you get to a foreign place, chances of identifying some of these things.
Because you'll be looking with fresh
Are
eyes.
you getting it? The other ones would have taken them for granted as if.
Aside from that, jobs that you cannot do in your home country, you are ready to take them up there.
That is
you
one.
understand?
Yeah, that is
So-
another.
Secondly, the
yeah,
value,
yeah,
the
people
value
are
of your
ready-
currency.
yeah,
too,
people-
is
Yeah,
another
the
one.
value of your currency.
the value of your currency.
It's tied
Because
to the
at
first.
the time you-
It's tied to the first matter.
Yes.
That jobs you're not
You're
willing to
willing to
do,
do, and you are not-
do. Now
Are
the
you
value
getting
of
it?
your currency.
So at the time you get 300 rands,
But
you
I
know what
just
it will
want
amount
to,
to
I
in
just want
Nigeria,
to
for
say
instance.
this about the statement by Aremu that if Nigeria is good, nobody will travel.
that's not correct.
When the naira was 1 naira 30 kobo to a pound, when and it was 65 kobo to a dollar, people
yes.
were still traveling.
yes.
People were still traveling. So for us to say that if
not even
Nigeria,
about-
no,
even the
people
places
must
that
travel.
even the places
There
that
are
you feel
Britons there,
good,
there are
yes.
Americans there,
Of course.
there are Britons there, there are Germans there. So do we want to say that it's because their country is not good that they are
Exactly.
here?
I mean, let's face it. Everybody knows it's not news. If you were to look at if you were to look at pictures, you see homeless people sleeping on the street in the US. You see homeless
Everywhere.
people in the UK. You see homeless people everywhere.
They are everywhere.
Now to concentrate on those pictures and say that this country is not good,
You're really the thing that does not exist in your world. You will have a word for it. Homelessness is not a Nigerian word.
It's not a Nigerian word, I
So this
do.
is out there, you know.
Okay, Yemi in Kaduna. Good morning.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Thank you for
Yeah.
calling in.
Thank you, sir. All this thing that is happening in South Africa, there is this saying in Yoruba that kò sẹ́ni tí ò wúlò fún rẹ̀. They never knew this until now that their ticketing officers are shouting.
Well, I mean, they're just trying to translate that to your Yoruba something.
Okay,
Everybody has his
sorry,
strong
sir.
point. Everybody
What-
has
yes,
his own
exactly.
strong point, right?
Yeah.
Everybody has his
Yes,
own
sir.
strong point.
What it simply means is that nobody that is not good to one another. Nobody that is not important to one another.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is exactly
Okay.
what it means.
Okay.
Now they are thinking Nigerian people are coming over there to take over their jobs and other things. Most of these South Africans are very lazy. They drink. I'm sorry to say
we
this.
can't say that.
That will
No,
not
we
be.
can't say that because you can't verify
Yeah, no,
it.
let's
You
leave
don't
that one.
know that. But you
Let's
see,
leave
when
that
we
one.
are
I know
emotionally,
that.
when we are hurt,
I have
no,
people here, sir.
guys.
Okay, I'm sorry saying that
Mr.
on
Mr.
air.
Yemi, you got to
I
understand
withdraw
me.
it.
We can't
I
use
withdraw
such
that statement.
expressions.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
So now, anywhere you find Nigerians, they try to work hard to do legal business so that they know what some of us they know what is at home.
Yemi,
Some know how to-
Yemi, respectfully, let me interrupt you. We know all of this. We've been saying it for the past week or two. But now, the aspect that we're now seeing is that Nigerians are getting less interested in going to South Africa, as reported by ticket salespeople, saying that we're not selling airline tickets to South Africa in the past 2 weeks. That's that is following from the very important thing that you are saying to what do you think about this situation where Nigerians, as far as the airline ticket sales are concerned, is falling off? People don't want to go anymore.
Yes, sir.
You expected
shows
that?
Yes, sir. This shows that the people coming there are important and they are contributing to the economy of South Africa.
Okay, okay.
So the South African people should know that people coming there, they have their own importance in their country, that they contribute to their economic growth of that country.
All right. You're talking about South Africa. I'm talking about Nigeria here. Our own people now refuse. They can buy a ticket to anywhere, and South Africa used to be a top destination. Yes. Now the ticketing people are saying South Africa is not one of our destinations anymore from ticket sales. They are buying tickets from everywhere but for South Africa. So it's really about us that I was thinking you might be able to comment upon. Did you expect Nigerians to, quote unquote, almost like boycott South Africa? And for how long do you think that will go on?
Two things is happening here in my own perspective, sir. Number one, Nigerian government should sit tight, look at what is, because traveling, basic, even the best economy in the world, you see their citizens in other countries, which is even lesser to their country. That is basic. Traveling, sometimes you move from one place to the other, not because of the greener pasture. Another thing can happen. Because here in Nigeria, we have Americans, we have British here, we have people from China.
Sure.
And the same Nigerians still go to China and other things.
Okay.
So that is economic migration from one place to the other.
Okay.
When you are there, you contribute. So our government should please sit tight, look at what is happening and what they should get right in this. This can reduce the people going out, most especially the young ones. I was watching a TVC program this morning when someone was talking about, it was a sister station, that doctors are moving from Nigeria to other parts, that the migration is too much or so. This morning I had it on one of the sister stations.
So thank you very much for calling in. Yemi, as you know, on that doctor's point, we have doctors all over the place. Is it America? Is it South Africa? Is it in other places in Africa? So
is it Saudi Arabia?
Is it Saudi Arabia? So
everywhere.
we know our worth, and thank you for that. I think it was the guy who brought up the Yoruba proverb about everybody has his own worth. So we know, but he didn't quite grab hold of the aspect,
central issue.
The central issue, which is that the attitudinal shift of Nigerians in relation to traveling to South Africa. Are Nigerians vexed? And are they likely to be appeased?
The challenge really is that, you see, you would not want to put your money where you are not sure of what will come out of it. They are not just going to South Africa on tour. They are going there to see what they can do, with their lives.
And so it's not seen as a safe destination
So
anymore.
yes, the moment, clearly from what has happened, it's not safe. Until the government is able to guarantee that safety.
Well, their government.
Yeah, their government. Theirs, not ours.
For me, this is just, you see, the boycott is just one tiny part of, a web
myriad of things that will happen.
things that will happen. Let's not forget that, traveling is tied to so many things. You understand? It's tied to, tourism. You understand? To the hotel industry there. You understand?
Business.
To business. So all this, will be affected. By the time, we are just seeing that, the fall in ticketing sales is just a tiny part. You understand? I'm sure that by now, because it's not just Nigerians, other African nationals too. We don't want to go there.
And that's an important point.
Yeah, it's not just Nigerians. So the hotel industry will feel the pinch.
Argue that Nigeria wasn't necessarily attacked. It was blacks in South Africa.
You understand?
And so we're only responding as Nigerians now.
Yes.
Let's look at our Nollywood industry.
Sure.
So many of our producers like to go to South Africa to go and shoot.
That's right.
Their video. You understand? Both even music videos too. They go there. So all this will be affected. You understand? By the time,
although not on the same scale, it must also be said that they come here too to shoot stuff, but not on the same scale.
Not on the same scale.
But just saying.
So we go there, we shoot.
We have more
of course,
who are involved in that business.
Yes.
I don't even know the name of South African entertainment, whatever.
But our Nollywood is very popular there. Very popular there.
It's about a third or the fourth.
So all this, so there is no way they will not feel the pinch. You understand? If it continues. And I want, like I've continually said, that I want to believe that the scale will fall off, the South Africans' eyes for them to see, the far-reaching implication.
Yeah, but after they've seen it, they now have to get to work and sort this out. Robert in River State. Good morning, sir.
Yes, this is Subonami Robert.
Did we get it? Is it Roberts in River State? Good morning.
Yeah, Robert, River State.
Okay, good morning. Please go ahead.
Yes, I am enjoying the program. I thank you for all of you.
Thank you.
More especially you, the presenter. Yes, I am a traveler. I have traveled a lot. And our experience most of the time are really unpleasant.
Okay.
It is only somebody that doesn't travel. But we take what is happening in South Africa, it is a mere thing. It's not a mere thing.
How do you feel about Nigerians reportedly boycotting travel to South Africa, going by ticket sales?
In that issue, it is really, I don't like it. Because people are respecting their businesses more than people's life is stake. Our Nigerians, they are now showing as if they love their business more than their brothers. People are dying there, people are being molested, business disrupt, and you are telling me that they are no longer going there. Going to do what? Going to a place that is not safe. You are talking about trips canceled. You are not having a passenger going to South Africa.
So you, Robert, as a traveler, you just told us you're a traveler. At least for the immediate foreseeable time, South Africa is not going to be among your destinations. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, for now.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much for calling in, Robert. We really appreciate
So you can see the depth of what he was just saying.
So it's not just for even people going there to work. Even people going there, for visit, they won't go.
Because this thing must be planned.
Whatever you are going there for, at least you are going to put up somewhere. You are going to spend money somewhere.
You are going to spend your money.
I mean, all of that will stop. And that generally will impact on the economy.
So the sooner we get to the
government
the
South African government did not really think that deep. Yeah. They never thought it could get to this level.
But it's not the South African government that did this thing.
No,
it's the ordinary people on the street.
But they stood aloof
when it was happening. This thing has been happening.
Okay.
All right. So you should have been able to have look at the foreseeable future and say that what could be. How would these people react should this thing continue like this? I mean, these are the things we are talking about. Yeah. If they had ever anticipated something like this, by now they would have worked towards ensuring that this kind of a thing was mitigated.
Okay.
But that didn't happen. Now you can see the ripple effect. It's going to have a lot of effect, negative for that matter, on their economy.
Okay.
All right?
Well, I just hope that we can stop talking about South Africa very soon, which will mean that when both parties, South Africans and Nigerians, are happy, satisfied that things got back to normal again, business begins to, happen again, diplomatic relations, business relations, governmental relations, let them go back to where they should be. And let us stop talking about South Africa. We've been on it in this particular program
No,
for the
we'll
past
be on
3
it
weeks.
for as long as
of
it's
course,
But again,
of course.
I think their history should be enriched to the point of reflecting the contributions
the contributions. We have said that.
Exactly.
We have said
It looks like so many of these people have not really had the knowledge of it. They need to be, told that these are your brothers who were with you in times of trouble.
And one
It
of
shouldn't
the
be now that you begin to.
and one of the points that came out in our conversation this morning is, people coming in from home and saying that Nigerians should stop demarketing Nigerians.
Yeah,
It's very critical.
Stop selling us short.
It is very critical.
Stop
Very
because you're
critical.
angry. Begin to not seeing anything
It is
good
very
in
critical.
Nigeria. And the point was made that Nigeria is good.
Although at home here, we'll tell ourselves the truth.
I don't got to go. I done my flag waving.
We'll still be
I
telling
done enough
ourselves the
flag
truth.
waving
Yeah.
for the morning. Thank you very much, Mr. Demola Adegoke.
Thank you.
And thank you very much, Dr. Dan
Yes,
Ekere,
Thank you. It's
for
always a
joining us
pleasure.
and sharing your
Thank you.
perspectives. And thank you, as always, for making it happen. What would it be without you, your calls from home? Okay, so do have a great weekend. We'll see you again on Monday, God willing. I am Yori Folari. Have a fantastic weekend.